Are you moving? Do you need some strong guys to help you move? Are you emotionally cold or in need of a psychological breakthrough? Then call 3 Strong Guys, Emotional Movers.
Could you be careful with the bookcase? It's an antique.
No problem. Hey, are you okay?
I just got promoted, and all my dad said was, guess you're not so dumb after all.
Sometimes older men have a hard time expressing emotion, and they hide the love behind sarcasm and humor. Trust me, he's proud. Maybe you should give him a call.
I don't know.
I've already got him on the phone.
Son, is that you?
I love you, Dad.
I love you, son.
So give us a call and let us help you move. Also, it's okay to forgive yourself.
This is You Don't Know Jack 2015. I'm your host, Cookie Masterson. And hey, wipe that smile off your face. This is serious. Okay, just kidding. There will be farts and stuff. 4 evenly matched competitors would make this game a lot more interesting. Everybody's got their screws. You can force another player to answer immediately by hitting your screw button. If they miss it, you win extra bonus dollars. And today's wrong answer of the game is brought to you by
the San Francisco Otter Choir. Free concerts every Wednesday, except for mating season.
Find the wrong answer associated with our sponsor to get yourself some sweet prizes and bonus cash. So why not get started?
Get ready, time for question 1.
To get started, Bootyful. Let's analyze one of Kim Kardashian's body parts. About what percentage of Kim Kardashian's brain is just made up of water? 10%, 40%, 80%, or 100%? Player 4, sweet dreams. Player 2, what are you implying exactly? Players 1 and 3, Kim Kardashian's brain, and everybody else's brain for that matter, is made up of about 80% water. But that other 20% is just so round and firm, I can't stop thinking about it.
Oh, Mama gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Say it so.
Here's one I like to call, his acting is alright, alright, alright. So, you know how they called Matthew McConaughey's resurgence as an actor his McConaissance? Well, if Matthew McConaughey is currently experiencing a McConaissance, then what period of his life just ended? The McCona Dark Ages? The McCona Industrial Age? The McCona Middle Ages? Or the McCona Enlightenment Age? Player 2, watch the Player 1. Players 2 and 3. All wrong, all wrong, all wrong. Player 4. The Renaissance first occurred in Italy in the late 14th century, immediately following the Middle Ages. So the McConaissance would follow the McCona Middle Ages. Which is funny because most Renaissance sculptures also need to put on a damn shirt.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
It's time for Brought to you by the letter Unibrow.
It's the put the choices into order, then buzz in and see if you are right. Question.
And if you get this one right, I'll rustle up some extra moolah for you. Arrange these Sesame Street characters in order of fewest to most eyebrows. Bert, Ernie, the Count. Ernie, Bert, the Count. Bert, Ernie, the Count. The Count, Bert, Ernie, or Ernie, the Count, Bert. Player 4, where are you putting that screw? Ouch. Player 4. Did you intend to do that to yourself? I only ask because most people like to keep their cash. Okay, can we try this again, please? Player 2, you got it. No, you didn't. Players 1 and 3, check, please. Here's what a right answer looks like. Ernie has no eyebrows at all, Bert has one long single eyebrow, and the Count has two eyebrows! And yet, none of them have ever blinked. Coming up, Duck, Duck, Swan? Say the cast of Duck Dynasty attends a performance of Swan Lake and thinks there are real waterfowl on stage. In their confusion, which character would they most likely shoot? Siegfried, Benno, Von Rothbart, or Odette? Players 1, 2, and 4. Player 3. Odette is a princess who has been turned into a swan, so the Duck Dynasty crew would probably fill her full of lead. Especially if they find out she once fooled around with a lady swan in college.
5 fingers!
Coming up next, the man in the backwards yellow hat, and it's a dis or dat. Player 2, I want you to play this dis or dat since you're behind at the moment. I'm going to read off 7 things, and for each one you tell me if it's an alleged antic by pop star Justin Bieber or an antic by the classic children's book character Curious George. If it's Justin Bieber, press the square button. If it's Curious George, press the circle button. The rest of you ought to pay attention. Make your selections before Player 2, because if Player 2 gets it wrong, everyone who got it right will split the winnings. Okay, let's move. Peed in a mop bucket. Broke his leg falling from a fire escape. Arrested for falsely reporting a empty house. Got high on ether. Fed a bugle to an ostrich. Went to a Brazilian brothel. Forget George, I'm curious how someone could do this badly. I think we can all agree that it's time for that little bastard to get deported. And then it's your turn, Bieber. Round 1 is in the books, and Player 3 is at the front of the class. And feeling pretty good right about now. Don't forget, all the questions in Round 2 are worth double. And don't forget, our wrong answer of the game is still out there waiting to be picked. Let's keep going. Pucker up for Dumber and Dumberer 2. So there's Dumb and Dumber, and then there was Dumb and Dumberer, and then Dumb and Dumber 2. Makes perfect sense. Now, going back a few decades, there was The Odd Couple and The Odd Couple 2. So, if another remake of The Odd Couple used the superlative adjective, it would be called The Blank Couple. Odd, odder, oddest, or odderest. Players 3 and 4. Now that's just the dumberest answer I ever heard. Player 1. Odd is the adjective, odder is the comparative adjective, and oddest is the superlative adjective. But of course, everyone who made the original Odd Couple movies is dead, which means it's the perfect time for Rob Schneider to swoop in and revitalize the franchise. Player 2. No, but speaking of otter, get it? You just won! The greatest hits of the San Francisco Otter Choir. Hailed as one of the top 3 otter choirs in the world, the San Francisco Otter Choir will astound you with their covers of Little Red Corvette and The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. This wrong answer of the game comes with a bundle of cash worth $8,000. Congratulations.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
How about let it go, let it go, let it go? At which temperature would Olaf from the movie Frozen melt and die? 30 degrees Kelvin, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius, or 30 degrees Rankine? He's a snowman. Players 1 and 2? You may not know how temperatures work. Players 3 and 4. 30 degrees is below freezing in Fahrenheit and insanely below freezing in Kelvin and Rankine. But it's pretty balmy in Celsius, about the equivalent of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And I know, blah, 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 he can magically be saved, but I'm talking about what would happen in the real world to a talking snowman.
Follow me down to the sea.
This one's known as Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
First spotted in 1879. Kangaroo, Peanuts, Albert Einstein, or Uranus. That answer has a hole in it. Were you thinking of this one? Albert Einstein was first spotted in 1879, the year he was born. Probably by a midwife or something, over a century after Uranus was discovered and even longer after kangaroos and peanuts. I've heard baby Einstein cried a lot because he left behind some important equations on the uterine wall. Why not try wine or lose? If the Washington Redskins rebranded themselves with a non-offensive red-skinned mascot, what could they be called? The Washington Chardonnays, the Washington Malbecs, the Washington Pinot Blancs, or the Washington Rieslings? Player 1, watch the clock. Player 2, this isn't going to go with dinner at all. Players 1, 3, and 4. Chardonnays, Pinot Blancs, and Rieslings are all white-skinned grapes, but the Malbec grape is red. Although to a connoisseur like myself, Malbec is very offensive. Oh yes, I do say that was quite a burn. Open wide for I Want to Lick and Roll All Night. If Kiss singer Gene Simmons' tongue grew to the average length of an adult giraffe's, how deep into a woman's mouth could he stick it when he kissed her? About 5 inches deep, about 10 inches deep, about 20 inches deep, or about 30 inches deep? Player 1. Could be worse, you know, in theory. Players 2, 3, and 4. Wait for it. Wait for it. Where's that confounded right answer? An adult giraffe's tongue is on average about 18 to 20 inches long. So that's about how deep into a woman's mouth a giraffe-tongued Gene Simmons could stick it. And if Gene Simmons' neck grew to the length of an adult giraffe's, he may not even need women anymore. Brace your... Oh, do you need to be somewhere? My mistake. Here's your clue. Your house is made of what? What materials are their houses made from? Good luck. 4 is our winner! Player 4, did you aspire to win with a negative score? Was that something you were shooting for? Did you start your day saying, gee, I hope I can do something really underwhelming and embarrassing today? Or is that just par for the course for you? Maybe tomorrow you should tell yourself,
You don't know Jack!
I am Cookie Masterson, and I shaved my nipples for this, so let's hurry before it grows back. Like, we need to get moving now. 4 players. Gee, that's practically enough to have a key party. You all take care of those screws now. If you think an opponent doesn't know the answer, hit your screw button, and you'll force them to answer immediately. If they miss it, you win big. And our wrong answer of the game is sponsored by
Flavored eye drops. Why let your mouth have all the fun? Flavored eye drops.
Pick the wrong answer associated with our sponsor to win a fabulous prize and big cash. Okay, what are we waiting for?
Get ready, time for question 1.
Let's begin with Eat, Pray, Die. Which of these Julia Roberts characters would Jack the Ripper have been most likely to savagely murder? Erin Brockovich, Vivian Ward, Tess Ocean, or Liz Gilbert? Player 4. Players 1 and 3. How do you say, no? Player 2. Vivian Ward is the name of the prostitute Julia Roberts plays in Pretty Woman, and almost all of serial killer Jack the Ripper's alleged victims were female prostitutes, so he'd probably have just loved to murder her. I can see it now. He'd open the box with his knife in it, she'd reach in and he'd playfully shut it, snapping her fingers. She'd laugh, he'd laugh, then he'd kill her. This one's called If I Only Had a Brain Trust. Suppose the Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz faced off against the Wicked Witch of the West in a public debate. If he wanted to use a straw man argument against her, what might he do? Attack the Wicked Witch's character rather than the issues? Misrepresent the Wicked Witch's position on the issues? Prove the Wicked Witch wrong using statistical data? Or interrupt the Wicked Witch before she finishes her points? Watch your clock! Player 2, I think you know it's coming. Players 1, 3, and 4. Hey, way to be wrong! It's so obvious. A straw man argument purposefully misrepresents an opponent's position in order to strike it down. Here's how I would debate the Wicked Witch. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the 2 candidates you see here tonight is a Wicked Witch. Thank you, I yield the rest of my time.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
I call this one Getting Naughty, and this dis or dat leg's being tied up. Player 4? You seem to be behind, so why don't you play this dis or dat? I'm gonna read off 7 names, and for each one you tell me if it's the name of a necktie knot, or the name of a sex position recommended by Women's Health magazine. If it's a necktie knot, press the square button. If it's a sex position, press the circle button. Now, I need the rest of you to pay attention. Lock in your answers before Player 4 does, because if Player 4 gets it wrong, everyone who got it right will split that cash. Cool, let's do it. The Half Windsor. The Valedictorian. The Prince Albert. The Trinity. The Caboose. The Chairman. The Four in Hand. It appears your score likes to be on bottom. My usual sex position is also the way I usually tie a tie, alone in front of a mirror. Up next, shop till everyone drops. Say at Christmas time, every single item at your local mall sells out. According to a popular grim fairy tale, which of these stores has the best chance to be magically stocked overnight by hardworking elves? Foot Locker, Radio Shack, Victoria's Secret, or Lens Crafters? Player 4.
Swing and a miss.
Players 1 and 3. That was quality. Player 2. In the grim fairy tale, The Elves and the Cobbler, a poor shoemaker is given some much-needed help by elves who appear in the middle of the night. And while the shoemaker made a nice profit, the elves were trampled to death on Black Friday. Next up, Okia Dokia. If you're driving between company headquarters, which trip should be the shortest? IKEA to Kia, Kia to Nokia, Nokia to IKEA, or IKEA, Nokia, and Kia headquarters are exactly the same distance apart. Player 1, watch the time. Players 1 and 2, nobody picks that one. Players 3 and 4, Nokia, no Kia. Here's where the money is. Nokia is based in Finland, and IKEA is based right next door in Sweden. Kia is based in South Korea. Whether it's phones, furniture, or cars, if it's got Kia in the name, you know it's gonna be cheap. I mean inexpensive. Inexpensive! That'll bring an end to our first round. And player 2 is out in front, and by quite a bit, I might add. Remember, I'm doubling the value of each question in round 2. And remember, you got those screws sitting there. You didn't come here to make friends. Let's try. Muscle milk was a bad choice. Say the news team from the Anchorman films decides to run a relay race against a rival news team. If Ron Burgundy is his team's anchor, when will he run? Before bricks. You got it, player 4. Pick someone this. Player 2, you've been screwed. You got 5 seconds. In a relay race, the anchor, usually the fastest runner, goes last. And they would probably promote the race so incessantly that by the time it actually took place, you wouldn't be that interested in seeing it anymore. Player 4, you just got screwed yourself.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
Here's a good one. Guess who's Dak? Dak again. You know, I'm not an optimist, but I have to say, I feel like things have been going pretty well with the game so far.
Son, Daddy forgot about me.
Oh no, my old ventriloquist puppet, Billy O'Brien.
One's made of skin, one's made of wood, so who's the dummy?
Not me.
Billy, the whole creative team here decided to not include you in this game because you're too much of a troublemaker.
Troublemaker? Me? No, I just got back from traveling the world, studying all the profound teachings of titular world spiritual leaders. For instance, which titular religious group was founded by someone with the last name of Smith? Protestants, Episcopalians, Presbyterians, or Nornuns?
Player 4.
And you've been excommunicated.
Player 1. The Mormon religion was founded in the 1800s by Joseph Smith.
In America.
So, which was your favorite religion you studied?
Well, I particularly like the ones that treats about reincarnation. Someday, I hope to come back as a beautiful coffee table.
Follow me down to the sea.
May I introduce Orcas 11? Say I wanted to go around freeing the killer whales from every SeaWorld location in the world. How many separate rescue missions would I need to go on? 3 rescue missions, 4 rescue missions, 5 rescue missions, or 6 rescue missions? Player 1. Huh? Players 3 and 4. Well, look who's wrong now. Player 2. There are 3 SeaWorlds, 1 in San Diego, 1 in San Antonio, and 1 in Orlando. So you would need to go on 3 separate rescue missions. Well, that sounds like a lot of traveling. Maybe I'll just pay that kid from Free Willy to do it. Something tells me he could use the cash. Next, Kangaroo, Peanuts, Albert Einstein, or Uranus?
Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
The name of Jeff Dunham's purple-skinned puppet. Kangaroo, Peanuts, Albert Einstein, or Uranus? Player 4? No. Players 1 and 2? Player 3? His name is Peanut. I have to admit, people who talk through ventriloquist puppets kind of creep me out.
That you talk through me.
Quiet, Billy. Stop trying to get me to kill people.
Whoa, now you're creeping me out, man.
Here we have the midnight run to the bathroom. According to Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, how would Paul Revere secretly signal to you that he has to pee in the sea? I have to do a number 1 in a 1. I have to do a number 1 in a 2. I have to do a number 1 in a 3. Or, I have to do a number 2 in a 1. Time is short. Players 1, 2, and 3. Player 4. According to Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's poem, Paul Revere's Ride, Paul's signal for the British was 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. And as we all know, a number 1 is a P. And Americans would have known about the British sooner if he hadn't stopped for a number 4. You don't even want to know what that is. Welcome to the attack. When you see 2 clues that match, press the X button. 2,000 if you're right. 2,000 go. Okay, if that's how you want it. Here's the clue. This plus this equals that. What new thing do these combine to make? Good luck. 2 has it! Okay, something is clearly wrong when a player can win a game with a negative score. Player 2, you've destroyed my faith in humanity. If you had any honor, you would not accept the title of winner. If you had any sense of what is just and proper, you would say, "You